Hello, everybody. My name is Ashleen Crowe, and this is Rachel McAuley. We are the research fellows for the All Ireland Codicide study. So, an overview. This is a study, a collaborative study between Queen's University Belfast and Dublin City University. And the aim of this is to co-produce with parents and health and social care professionals a decision-making framework for planning the place of end-of-life care for children with life-limiting conditions and their families on the island of Ireland. So what we're going to talk about here is the focus groups that we conducted with health and social care professionals. Rachel conducted two, and I conducted one, and we conducted thematic analysis collaboratively on the data. These are very much preliminary findings, and I want to say that we are still even familiarizing ourselves with the data. So the two themes that I'm going to talk about are the establishment of trust. So health and social care professionals believe that fostering relationships with families to be of the utmost importance in order to establish true preferences of care, that intuitive care begins to occur when parents are known to health and social care professionals. Health and social care professionals also reflected that they feel that they are often a sounding board for parents to establish all their options, and that health and social care professionals strive to empower parents to push for their preferences. The second then theme was meeting families' expectations. So health and social care professionals strive to amplify the voice of the child where possible, give families all possible options, meet families' expectations, even if the final decisions are ill-advised or difficult to implement, manage those expectations as well. So, for instance, what is it really going to look like to care for a child at home, to treat the parents as experts in their child, and also health and social care professionals strive to be highly flexible, allowing families to change their minds at short notice. So another part of that is that health and social care professionals perceive themselves to regularly go above and beyond their formal duties to meet families' expectations, to give parents as much ownership over the decisions as is feasible, and be prepared to be unprepared. So to be prepared to abandon strategies that have been made, and also possibly respond to the deterioration of the child.
So our next theme was the clarity of communication. So health and social care professionals felt that it was their responsibility to report meticulously, as well as clearly and sensitively to parents. And underneath this responsibility, they felt that it was their role to reiterate and repeat information that might not be heard through distress, in addition to managing hope and unrealistic optimism, and also having the courage to introduce palliative care as early as possible, and having the ability to communicate that sensitively. Then, as Dr. Toomey said this morning, the availability of palliative care, both specialist palliative care staff and palliative care approach in non-specialist palliative care staff. So we also found that there was an over-reliance on health and social care professionals' goodwill, expecting that they would go above and beyond and work outside of their normal working hours. And then more practically, I suppose, just access to services in those geographical locations where there is service blackouts. And then lastly, the collaboration between teams was another overarching theme that we found. So it was highly important for teams to come to a consensus in terms of what the family expectations were and what could actually be achieved. And we also found that there could be discordance between the aims of teams, but there was really a need for the parents to receive a consistent communication from teams, for all those teams to be on the same page. This was particularly in terms of a team handing over to another team and having over-promised. Members of our focus group call this the promise bomb, where they would have to inform the parents that this was actually not a possible option for them. So in terms of the study phases, we've completed a systematic review, 19 one-to-one interviews with parents and 3 focus groups. We are using this information to develop a Delphi survey that will go out to a different set of healthcare professionals and bereaved parents. And ultimately this will result in informing a decision-making framework development workshop with a panel of experts. So we're so happy to take questions. This is our full research team and all of the institutions that we have collaborated with, to which we're very grateful. Thank you so much.
I have one question, guys. I'm just wondering what the next study is. Very interesting, and I really enjoyed listening to it. So I was wondering what your next steps for your study is.
Thank you. So we're currently we're validating our Delphi survey at the moment, and we'll be disseminating that to a group of bereaved parents and health and social care professionals that work with those bereaved parents. And then once we have collated and analysed the results of that survey, their consensus statement, so we'll see to which degree that there is agreement for each statement, and we will then use that in our decision-making framework development workshop with our panel of experts. And then ultimately that will result in developing that framework that then can be passed on to policymakers. Thanks.
Thank you very much.